In this 5-minute episode, I'm talking to an IBM colleague who graduated from the University of Calgary, Haskayne School of Business, Malek Alsoubani, a cybersecurity software sales lead. Malek has been a sales specialist at one of Canada's biggest telco, a program manager intern, an IBM storage brand specialist, and now currently your role is cyber resiliency software lead.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Alex.
You're welcome. We talked about recording something like this a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember that you told me about a cyber resiliency metaphor you'd thought of related to boxing.
Yeah.
Can we hear that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Alex, I have to say a lot of my friends are in boxing or MMA, and when we kind of talk about cyber resiliency, I kind of played back to that, that metaphor. It was like, it's kind of like boxing. In cybersecurity, it's more about how hard you can punch, but in cyber resiliency, it's more like how you can take that punch and keep rolling with it. So in terms of cyber, it's not only just preventing breaches, but it's also having the capability to quickly recover and effectively recover, especially when an attack occurs.
Right.
So it's about anticipating more and adapting quickly and staying one step ahead.
So when a company's been breached, they've been knocked down, they might be completely out of business, they might be partially out of business.
Yeah.
And being able to continue, we'll come on to a question about that in just a moment. Being able to continue is critical for being able to continue business and not shutting down shop whilst you're being breached.
Absolutely.
Now, I asked my other interviewees to rate a number of cybersecurity technologies as part of a cybersecurity strategy on a scale of 1 to 5. And as I did with Harkirat, though, I'm going to give you a pass because as many of them aren't related to your current job role. Mm-hmm. However, I'll be completely transparent about this. When I put this one at the bottom of my list, I was thinking it might come out top on yours.
Yeah.
So can you rate on a scale of 1 to 5 how important is cyber resiliency as part of a cybersecurity strategy?
Absolutely. I honestly think it's a 5. And the reason for that is it's because it's critical to the business. That's why I put it at a 5. Mm-hmm. And cyber resilience is kind of at the core of modern cybersecurity strategies, especially when you incorporate prevention, detection, and recovery all together. So businesses need to stay resilient, not just secure. And it's about ensuring continuity and reliability in the threat space that we have today.
Cyber resiliency as part of a business continuity planning is a 5 for you, or maybe a 5.5.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We keep hearing about security breaches. They're happening all over the place to the world's most reputable brands and at an alarming rate. And to meet that, a lot of people seem to have seen the potential and or decided to retrain in cybersecurity. To that end, I'm trailing this mini-series with Hammer Talent Consultants. I believe Hammer's diversity sourcing options can help your team reflect the varied perspectives crucial for tackling ever-changing cyber threat landscape. Their focus on candidate experience ensures higher retention and fewer offer rejections, which are things that everyone hired or being hired should be interested in. At the end of last month, we were in Vancouver you were presenting, and I was fielding a couple of questions from the audience. And I was just wondering, coming out of that evening, whether you find in general that clients are interested in learning about cyber resiliency. Do they think they already know a lot about it? And if they're not interested in talking with you because you're in a sales role, why do you think that they don't make time to do so?
They do think of cyber resiliency, but they don't think of it in the same way that they think of cybersecurity. It's super valuable, but not very many people are talking about it because they're more focused on, okay, how do we prevent these threats from happening? When I'm coming in and I'm saying it's gonna happen, you just have to get ready for it.
So I think we are seeing a shift in cyber security and cyber resiliency, not in terms of preventing the bad actors from getting in. It's accepting that they will, as unfortunate as that may be, and then having steps in place and a strategy and a plan in place to deal with it when it happens.
Absolutely.
And that's cyber resiliency.
Yes.
And if they don't do anything about it now or soon, or it's not in their roadmap, or there isn't enough budget this year, do you think they're taking unnecessary risk in not investing more time into cyber resiliency today?
Well, I would say the average cost of a cyber attack is about 5.3 million, I believe, the last statistic that we looked at.
US dollars?
US dollars, yes. And it takes about 23 days for them to actually recover. So
you can be out of business for 23 days. I wonder what kind of business you're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
And where have your customers gone, and will they come back again?
Exactly.
and you've got to keep paying your staff. You can't let them all go, can you?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's part of the risk quantification, I think, is in working out how much it's going to cost your business, not necessarily in profits, but in total operating cost.
Absolutely.
For the 23 days.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say that we found companies often don't know what to do to mitigate risk, where they should spend their money in a cyber resiliency plan, whether it's people, processes, or technology, whether it's hardware, software, non-IBM hardware, but with IBM software on top.
Yeah.
It could be on-prem, which is much easier to conceptualize, of course, or it could also be IBM storage in a hyperscaler's infrastructure that clients could then use and tie into to achieve a better cyber resiliency posture.
Yeah. To that point, whenever you do your backups for your Microsoft 365, all those backups are actually not the responsibility of Microsoft to back up, right? Like it's actually up to you, and it's up to your business to protect that data and to actually do those backups every so often.
I wonder how many of those people using that stuff have read their service agreement and found that
every
to be
single
true.
time I bring it up with people, that's a central conversation that we have. I pull it up on the computer and I say, this is what your service level agreement said.
Are they surprised?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think also another important strategy is take the time to see how long it takes you to recover your crown jewels. Knowing where your crown jewels are and how long it's going to take for you to recover those crown jewels are the first two good steps towards cyber resilience.
And restoring the whole lot as opposed to cherry picking bits and pieces of it and then trying to extrapolate
absolutely
from that to say, oh, well, it takes us half a day for this, it'll take us 3 days for doing the crown jewels.
Yeah.
I was taught by a mentor years ago, never extrapolate, always interpolate. Because you can be reasonably accurate with a degree of error when you're interpolating. Malek has been talking with CISOs on his calls with clients. And you now know a bit more about cybersecurity from a cyber resiliency software lead at a global hybrid cloud and AI technology company, and the kind of advice he gives to the C-suite. I'll be back in a week or so with a bonus episode in this mini-series with the chief architect of IBM X-Force and ethical hacker Dustin Hayward. Thanks, Malek.
Thank you.